Jorge has always put the ones he loves first. But when it comes to caring for his teeth, he's let his own maintenance take a back seat. Well, maybe it's time to shift gears on that. Because Aspen Dental has the latest
Okay. Grand day, everyone. Oh gosh, let me stop the echo too. 1 sec. Awesome. Well, welcome. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether you're on LinkedIn, whether you are on Instagram. Thank you so much for tuning in to today. Today, I wanted to jumpstart and just get out of my head and begin to talk about the conversation that is hugely important right now. Everyone for the last few years have been talking about the Great Resignation, all of these things, all of these terms, but basically it's just about individuals looking at their lives and wanting change, right? And I got to thinking, because, you know, each one of us has our place right now. Each one of us has an opportunity to be the best and highest versions of or version, depending on who works. Some people bipolar, but I'm not gonna go there. Um, but you get to be the best version of yourself, and I got to thinking about that, and the way that I can be the best version of myself is by truly and authentically being myself and who I am. Although previously I didn't really know the value, and that's the reason for this particular live, because I think it'll resonate with a lot of people who have underestimated their value and their worth and what they bring to the table. And so I want to talk today about, my case study about how I had my first client, and that first client is now a 7-figure brand. And although 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 I didn't know what I was doing, so I thought, the truth of the matter is I did know. Um, And that's why I want to talk about this with you today, because there are many of you who are undervaluing yourselves, who are not going for the things that they should, who are not reaching full potential, because you've got some blocks. You don't think you deserve it, you don't think you're worthy, you have fears, you have all of these things that are happening. And so I wanted to come on and just kind of give you some insight into me and where I come from and where I'm going, baby. Because you'll want to be. you want to hear that. Okay, so in my case study, my client came to me in 2018. She was referred to me by her coach, by her business coach at the time. Shout out Lisa, what's up, girl? She came to me through her business coach with an idea. This young lady was an engineer, or yeah, it was, because she isn't anymore. But she was an engineer. She had created some vegan skincare products. And then she had an idea to start a school. So when she came to me with her idea, she was sent to me specifically to start the school because I have a I have a lot of experience in um, education, in marketing, expanding. Little did I know, creating. I mean, I have a master's in education, adult education and training. So, writing curriculum, all of those things. But still, in my mind, because I had not put a title on what I do, because I had not considered um, all of my experience and what I brought to the table, I really didn't. When I took this on, I did not know that it would be what it would be, but I knew that if that everything that I put my hands to prospered, I knew that at that time, so I accepted. And um, in this acceptance, I began to work with this young lady, just from rock bottom, not from the bottom. Now, not to say that she hadn't done a lot of things already, because she was very good at um, getting money, at raising money. So she was really good at pitching and things of that nature. She had employed some people that didn't quite help her out in this area. And so when she came to me, um, my thought was, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to help. And from her original idea, which was to start um, a school that happens to be in the beauty industry, I looked at the raw information that she had given me and I began to tap into my wisdom and my knowledge, right? And there were things that I immediately knew had to happen for this particular individual. There needed to be validity to what she did. The industry, the education was not, when we looked at it, it was not regulated. But just because something is not regulated, like if you have an idea, you're it's not regulated and you're doing it, you still want to bring some validity to what you're doing, if possible, tie it into something. So I recommended that the individual take her curriculum and tie it into continuing education for cosmetologists, for estheticians, and things of that nature, because the training that she had, those people, that beauty brand industry, were the people that could benefit from it. So my thought was, okay, let's see if we can get your curriculum validated. Let's see if we can get your curriculum um, put in a place where you're above everybody else. Because in my mind, you're the first person to do this in your area, right? And if you're going to do it, you're going to do it big. So that's number one. Um, I think that many of us who are entrepreneurs, who are, thinking creatively, thinking entrepreneurial, a lot of times from the very beginning, you're really, we tend to shy away from the big goals, right? We tend to shy away from looking at things from all angles. We tend to kind of just be focused on the thing that we know. So that's why it's important as a creative, as a new entrepreneur, that you align yourself with someone who has um, the ability to dream big, who has the ability to see, to envision your vision even bigger than you do. Because when you lock in with someone who can see your vision even bigger than you see your vision, then look at what happens in this particular case study, which will be available to you in written form. So I want to put it in written form so that many of you can take the opportunity to look at it as a roadmap and see, what areas you may need assistance in, or what areas you're holding back on, or what areas maybe you may need to, level up. Let's just call it that. Okay. And again, I really appreciate each and every one of you who are tuning in. Thank you so much for taking your time. Don't forget to like and share this video. Okay. Awesome. So, number one, that was number one. Number two, once I looked at it and I did what I believed needed to be done to validate it within the industry, right? Because each industry has its own thing. Some industries require certification, some industries require licensing, some industries require certain registrations. But look at that, because and if your industry doesn't, then figure out a way still to set yourself above the rest. And I'll give you this example because it, that one thing that I recommended to her that honestly she really did not want to do. Okay. And if I'm honest, she was not going to continue it after the first year. But what happened was we were partnering with another entity in another city in Texas. And some kind of way they looked at the fact that we weren't registered in one place and thought that we couldn't train, and so they canceled us last minute for a training that we had prepared for, that we had students for, because they thought that we were not validated in the beauty industry. And when I was able to provide that validation, not from the entity that they were validated under, but from an entity that still brought us validation, they had to pay us and we did no work. So that's why it's important to have all of your T's crossed and your I's dotted and be a visionary when you're putting your product out there, because you never know who may test you. Be ready, be ready. Okay. The next point that I want to bring up is, initially when this individual came to me about this beauty brand school, all they wanted to do was local. They wanted to build a local school in their city, which happens to be Houston, H-Town. Shout out, that's my hometown. um, and when I looked at the vision and I thought about what she was creating, I knew that that would pigeonhole her, that that would limit her, and that that wouldn't give her the momentum that she needed to really grow fast, grow strong, right? So I proposed massive action up front. Like, come out the gates swinging. Come out the gates as if you've already been here. And that's going to be my next like nugget for you today. I'm not going to give you everything today because this is actually a series. Shout out to the series, right? Um, but part one, I really wanted to build some framework because a lot of you are in this place where you're ready to do something different, where you're ready to expand, you're ready to grow. You may have a product, you may have a service, you may have an education tool, you may have just wisdom, and you know that where you are now is not giving you the best bang for your buck. You're not expanding, you're not growing, and so let's 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 talk about these things. Let's look at it, because this year, believe it or not, is a massive year for growth and for abundance. And it is predicted that more millionaires will be made in this year alone than, I don't know, I didn't look at all the statistics, but that's that. And so why not? Let's tap into it. Let's tap into it, and let's recognize that back then I didn't even know what I was doing. Okay. And in 1 year, I had helped her build a brand that within 3 years, it is now a 7-figure brand. First year out, it was a 6-figure brand. And I'm going to just throw that out there. First year. Yeah, because that's how we do. But I believe that with the energy of this year, millionaires can be made in 1 year. So that's why I'm on here. That's why I'm talking, because I've literally been pulled to do this. And so it is what it is. So for those of you who are really considering it, because remember, she started this and she was working full time. I was on the side helping her build this business while she was working full time. Within a year, she was able to leave her company. Okay. Let's work through that. So for those of you with ideas and you're sitting there and you're thinking, hey, I don't know, how can I replace? It's very easy to be done, right? Okay, so let's get back to massive action. So most of us want to start small, right? We want to start small, we want to do it a little quick. No, if you want to get a big something to move, you're going to have to take massive action. And so that first year, instead of staying local, after doing my research and looking at her competition, and her biggest competition was in Atlanta, Georgia, right? But in looking at that biggest competition and in looking at the reviews of her biggest competition, I then knew how to set us apart, okay? So the first thing was to take massive action. So instead of staying local, my thought was, let's make this a national brand. Let's not stay local. Let's put representatives of your brand in different cities. Let's get all of these people certified in different cities, and let's start that way. Massive growth, massive action, right? And so that's what we did. And we went on a 6 or 8 city tour, can't remember, but that's first year out. Most people were like, wow, why would you do that? My client didn't even necessarily want to do it, right? But no, anything that you believe in, why not go for it in a big way? Okay. So massive action was really important at that time. Okay. And then the last nugget that I'm going to drop in about massive action is making sure that when you're taking this massive action, that you're making sure you get everything. Don't leave no crumbs on the table, okay? Because although my client had a program and had this education for the beauty industry, once she gave the education, all of the tools, everything that they needed, they had to go out and do it themselves. Well, why? That was my question to her. Why? You're the brand. So when you come, you need to have everything that they need. And that's the misnomer. I call it the Walmart effect, right? Walmart was smart. They decided, hey, we're going to get into this. We're going to get in and we're going to take over. So under one roof, everything will be. They're not even going to have to leave our store. Like if they need their oil change, we got you. Okay, tires, we got you. Okay, toys for your children, we got you. Food, you hungry, we got you. Clothing, you need some clothes, we have you. You don't, what, what you need? Oh, you need your nails done, don't worry, we got you. Eyeglass, we got you. Hair done, we got you. So Walmart is a one-stop shop. So when you're looking at your brand, why not make it a one-stop shop? Why send people other places and let other people make money when it's your brand? So be a one-stop shop for your brand. Whatever it is that you are going to refer them to get somewhere else, have it where you at. Okay? Let's do that. Let's all of these large companies, all of these giants, they're great footprints, like perfect examples. Why wouldn't you look at what they're doing, say it's working, and then decide, well, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it like that. Okay? I mean, it just makes absolute sense. Okay? So I don't want to give you too much today because this is a series. Coming up Monday, we'll go with the second phase, but I wanted to lay the groundwork, the foundation in this case study because many of you have this in mind right now. There are many of you, especially on LinkedIn and Instagram. I'm not going to say that because um, like-minded individuals are everywhere, but there are many of you who have these types of ideas. You know that what you're doing is not satisfying. My client, when I met her, was becoming physically ill because she did not want to be in her job. And there are many of you who are becoming physically ill because you no longer resonate with what you're doing, but you don't see yourself doing anything else. Well, that's why you need to hook up with other visionaries because a lot of times you need a flame to light your flame. Someone who can see and believe in you as much as you do, and then lock arms with you to help you get to where you're going. Yeah, absolutely. So, for those of you who have tapped in late, for those of you who are, just now coming into the broadcast, again, my name is, and I don't even know if I introduced myself initially, but my name is Deethia. If you're on my page, you do know my name. My name is Deethia. I am a creative strategist and don't want to call myself a coach because it's a lot more than that. I am gifted at seeing and having insight and expansion and the ability to grow things. I've always been that way. And so this is a quick case study. Well, not quick because it's a 3 parts, probably about a 3 to 5 part series. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get through the whole thing. But in this particular one, I wanted to talk about the foundation. So I began this by um, just bringing up that sometimes all you have to have is just an idea, right? You have an idea, and then a lot of people want to do things alone, but I don't, I don't recommend it because that causes you to go slower, if I'm honest. Um, but linking up with the right visionary brings such momentum, right? So number one, being able to take your idea and bring it to the right person or persons to help push it out there, right? Number two, um, be aware and make sure that when you're looking at your brand that you're setting it up for absolute success. Like you're making sure that all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed, that you're registered wherever you need to be registered, that you have all of the things, because again, different industries, different things, but make sure if you need certifications, if you need some kind of license, whatever, if you're doing it from one state to the other, know the regulations. I mean, all of those things you need to know. And then be intentional in how you set yourself apart. Looking at the competition, how do you set yourself apart? And next, and the last point for today is massive action. What constitutes massive action? What takes you from a little mom and pop day one to a national brand? And you know what it is? Your vision, and your willingness to stretch yourself. Your willingness to put yourself out there. Your willingness to be at a level that makes you uncomfortable. Because greatness ain't comfortable. Cannot be. Would be great if it was. And so for today, for this lunch and learn, thank each and every one of you who have tuned in. I know that on my original I said I would not leave the replay up, but I will leave the replay up for today through the weekend, so that may not be on Instagram, but it will be on LinkedIn and YouTube, my YouTube channel. And hopefully I gave you this right before the weekend on a Friday so that you can marinate, so that you can let it sink in, so that you can think about what your goals and dreams are. And are you ready to be your biggest version of self? Are you ready to have and be and do like your dream? Like, it was my client's dream to leave her company and build a multi-million-dollar brand. And I was glad at inception. At the infant, and not inception, because I wasn't there for inception. At the infant stage, I was called in. And we achieved massive growth and massive results. Yeah. Okay. That's what I have for you today. If anyone has any questions, or you want to talk about what your dreams are, you're ready to, you listen and you're just like, oh my gosh, like, girl, I don't know how you knew, but today this is exactly what I was looking for. And thank you for taking your time to come and say these things to me, because I'm ready. Well, if that's you, feel free to email me at hirethea@gmail.com. That's hire, HIRE, Thea, THEA, @gmail.com. Email me, and we'll talk. At the end of this case study, I will be releasing an opportunity for those who want to take massive growth this year and be a part of this movement that I have been commissioned to lead. Oh God, it's so funny. Y'all, when I tell you I have resisted this, like I have literally resisted doing this. And I'll tell you why a little bit later in this case study. And this case study, the written form, the actual written form, the things that we did, tools, tips, and tricks to help you. That ebook will be coming out shortly. It's almost ready. This is me. Um, Taking massive action. The beginning, right? Thank you. Thank you all for tuning in. See you Monday, same time, same place, 9 a.m. Monday. I'll put the flyer out that will talk about the rest of the series, right? And next week we'll also have links and stuff so that you can work with me. But for right now, feel free to email. Look forward to speaking to each and every one of you. To each and every one of you next week. Thank you. Thank you for those who listened live and for those who are going to tune into the replays. Peace and I'm out.